to CLSM,
Not your normal Wednesday night premiere.
and make sure to
leave a like and subscribe,
and stay home and stay safe.
or else this guy will come into your room at the night.
have a good one.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to our brand new segment. This is called CLSM R&R, where we have Matt the Whale and me, JB, and we are going to give you our reviews and recommendations to anything we feel like giving.
Yeah, and just so people are aware, this is not like somebody's unpopular opinion. This is like we want to give good advice and
That's true.
And share some things that we've enjoyed.
Yeah, the unpopular opinion can sometimes be leading people astray.
Yeah, I mean it's unpopular for a reason.
Yes, and we are not here to lead you astray. We are
Absolutely
here
not.
to give you great recommendations and honest reviews.
Yeah.
So today, as you may be able to tell from our backgrounds, we're going to talk a little bit of Dude Perfect. Who doesn't love Dude Perfect?
I don't think I've met anybody that has been like, they're just okay. Like, you're obviously very well entertained by Dude Perfect.
Yes, for sure. And they started out just doing some trick shots, and they've kind of built up, and now they're just this like YouTube entertainment mogul.
Huge.
And they released a documentary about them last week that I watched, was super intrigued by it. It was super cool. But Matt, why don't you kind of explain what that is, what it's about?
Well, it's so if you are a Dude Perfect fan, you were aware that last year they actually went on a national tour. I think 21 cities, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Traveled around the country and, almost doing trick shots, but then also their overtime stuff, stereotypes, kind of like if you could amass all of the Dude Perfect videos within like an hour time frame and put it in a 10,000 seat arena, this is what that is going to look like.
Yep.
So the documentary starts out talking about that experience, kind of like what led up to it. It talks a little bit about their history of how they got to be Dude Perfect, and I think they're I can't remember if they're in the top 10 or maybe even the top 5 of most popular YouTubers. But I mean, how these 5 college friends got to be where they have, is it like 9 or 10 billion views?
They just hit like 50 million subscribers, I think.
Like it's just kind of crazy that you have these 5 college guys from Texas that, and they talk about their first video that it was all about a bet for a sandwich if he could make this shot. And that's how it all started, was a sandwich and a bet, And so you kind of go into this documentary and I've heard a little bit here and there about the guys, but they start talking about, and it's kind of towards the end of the documentary, but they spend a ton of time talking about their faith.
Yeah.
And I knew that these guys, were professing Christians, that, obviously their videos are clean. There's no cursing, even the music that they put into their videos is often by a Christian artist. And so I was pretty well aware that these guys had some sort of faith.
Yeah.
But they took a ton of time in this documentary to talk about the importance of their relationship with Jesus. That so many times they talked about that, yes, it's great that we're able to entertain people and we love that we're family friendly and everything, but they talk specifically about the most important thing in our lives is our relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? Whoa, these guys didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't have to say that. And they're taking advantage of the platform that they're on to express their faith. And I thought it was so cool that I think I watched the premiere of, or just pretty close to the time that they released the documentary.
Yeah.
And when I got done watching, so it had only been out for 2 hours, it already had 500,000 views.
That's insane.
Like,
On a Monday night.
On a Monday night. And so it was just amazing to see how these guys they're funny, they're entertaining, they have this, they have obviously clean entertainment, but then they are not shying away from sharing their faith.
Right.
I love it.
I think I went into watching it thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. They're going to show like some highlights from their videos over the years and talk about their tour and what it was like to be behind the scenes. It's called Backstage Pass is the name of the documentary. So I just thought it was going to be, hey, here's what it's like on the other side of the camera, like to see what we see. But I thought they did a really good job of having their families involved in the film. Like they showed how they tested out what their whole show was going to be on tour, but it was with their family and friends, and their kids were there, and they showed like, the guys FaceTiming their kids when they're out on the road, and like I'm like getting choked up watching that because I get choked up FaceTiming my kids a week at camp or a mission trip or something. But just seeing that was really cool and made them seem like actual real people.
Yes.
And I agree, like just their faith element, talking about how they basically had to make a decision. Are we going to continue Dude Perfect after college or are we not? And they talked about the process in which they did that. And it was just, I don't know, it was really down to earth and really real to me.
And they talk about how like, you look at everything through the lens of their videos, which are really well put together. They're really well edited. And you kind of forget how much work that goes into them. And then even you have 5 guys, 5 like kind of these strong alpha male, athletic guys that, at times they're going to bump heads with one another, but they talked about how they are always working to get through it, that their relationship with each other is a huge priority, that it's not just the product that they put out. It's not just they're making a lot of money doing this, don't get me wrong, but they put such a high value on the relationships that they have with each other, the relationships that they have with their family, and then the relationships that they have with Christ. Yep. And I don't know, it was super refreshing, to hear somebody who, especially on the platform that's YouTube, who makes a lot of money at it, that has a ton of viewers, that is popular both, in the church culture, but then also everywhere else. They've been on SportsCenter, they've been on all these ads and stuff. And it's cool to see that they are just real people. Yep. And that they're not just putting on a show for the sake of putting on a show or to make them look good, but they're doing this out of their heart, and they really feel that this is a way for them to even minister to people through their entertainment. And I loved it. I hope you guys watch it, because it's really good. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's really entertaining for sure.
All right, Matt, on a scale of 1 to 5 panda heads, what do you give Dude Perfect Backstage Pass?
I definitely have to give it a solid 5 panda heads out of 5, plus a tall guy, beard, purple hoser, and the twins.
Yes.
So,
love it. I would agree with the 5 panda heads. So highly recommend for anybody, families, whatever, sit down, watch it together. Super fun, super good.
I love it.
Cool. Hey guys, this has been our very first episode of CLSM reviews and recommendations, or R&R for short. Yep. We will kick it over to something else. I don't know. I think we got a worship song coming up. So
sure.
That sounds good. Why don't we do
that?
Let's sing a song. Here we go.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I place. I worship you. I worship you, 'cause you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you, 'cause you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 'Cause you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 That is who you are.
If you know me very well, you know that I love structure and I like rhythm. I like my t-shirts are color coordinated in my closet. I am incredibly bothered if my socks don't all have the right match. My kids will like wear mismatched socks, or they'll wear one sock and not the other. I don't know what kind of monsters I'm raising, but like when we were unpacking our new house the other day, I told Sarah, I don't care how things are set up, how things are organized. I just want them to get that way and to stay that way. And I know where things are going to be. I know where to find a bowl for my cereal in the morning. I know where to find my coffee mug. This mindset even sometimes creeps into my relationship with God. You know, like I like to go through Bible reading plans on the Bible app, and I like to read through books. And sometimes if I kind of get thrown off or if I miss a day, I just kind of drop into this feeling of guilt. Like, man, I didn't accomplish what I was supposed to do. Like I didn't check that thing off of my list. And so often, guys, I think we get bogged down by these checklists in our faith. We get bogged down by sermons that add just one more thing to do in order to make our relationship with Jesus better. As I was preparing for the message today, man, I had this thought. I was like, what if we just spent time with Jesus? Like, what if we just set our checklist to the side? If we stopped our reading plan for a day and we just spent time with Jesus? We just spent time with him. Like I already alluded to, I'm terrible at this. Like I started reading through the book of Proverbs every day every month throughout the year. So every day I have a different chapter to read. And if I miss a day, then I will miss checking the box on the Bible app. And if I don't log into the Bible app on one day, then my streak is ruined. And you all have Snapchat streaks. You know what I'm talking about. I hate when my streak gets ruined. But what if our faith was about more than that? What if our faith was about more than just being at church for all 52 Sundays in a year? What if our faith was about more than listening to 15 different podcast sermons throughout the week? What if our faith was more about spending time with our Creator? We have a painting in our house, and it's a psalm. It's Psalm 37:7, and it says, "Be still before the Lord." So David wrote, "Be still before the Lord." And we have that in our house as a reminder for us to slow down, to stop and be still before God. Imagine what our faith would look like if we stopped for an hour and just spent time with God. Like, I love drinking coffee, and I love just spending time with people drinking coffee at a coffee shop or at our house, at our kitchen table. Like, that's one of my favorite things. What if we did that with God? What if we just spent time with Him? We didn't worry about what else we had to do. We didn't worry about getting through our reading plan. We just spent time with God. So we've been in the book of Colossians, and we're in chapter 3 this week. And Colossians 3:16 says this: "Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly, as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts." Here's where I want to focus. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly. So this word "dwell" I found is a really cool word. It actually means inhabit. And so this verse is saying, let the message of Christ live within you. Like, let it live there. Let it just be with you. And not just like for now, not just a little bit. It says, be with you richly. Richly means in large quantities. So what Paul is saying, he said, hey, take the word of God in and just let it be with you. Just let yourself be with God. Let Him speak to you. Guys, we live in a performance-based culture. Like, we all know that. You have to make the grades. You have to put in the study time to make the grades, and you have to pass the test to get the AP credit, and you have to work hard to make the team and to get first chair, to get the lead role in the performance. You have to perform better. You have to get stronger. You have to be better. I want to flip the script on that a little bit this week. I just want you to be. I'm going to challenge you guys this week just to find some time to be with God. Just spend time with Him. Now, some of you may be like, I don't even know what that looks like, what it feels like. Well, I'm going to give you 2 prompts, okay? The first one is write out a list of characteristics of God. So things that you know about God to be true, all right? And then pray through those. Tell God those. It's great to get a compliment, right? Tell God what you know to be true about Him. Thank Him for being who He is. Spend time with Him. And then the second way is to write out things that you know God feels about you. Things you know to be true about yourself. And thank God for creating you who you are. You are loved. You are worthy. You are so important. Guys, write those down. Pray to God. Thank Him for thinking so highly of you. Guys, I think if we can do this, even just for a few minutes, I think it could start to change how we approach God, how we think of God. Instead of just a checklist, it can start to shift into more of a relationship. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you so much for allowing us the chance to just spend time in your presence. God, I pray that every single person watching this could find some time to just be with you. God, that we could be still before you. God, that we could let your message dwell richly among us. That it could just be with us. That we could spend time in your word, spend time in your presence, God. Lord, I just lift every single person up to you and pray that you would be with them this week. Lord, we ask all of these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hey, thanks, JB, for sharing tonight, man. I think you nailed it. I can even find my own self getting into this routine of, okay, I got to do my quiet time. I got to do my devos with God, and I just got to check it off the list and then move on to the next thing. it's so easy to fall into that pattern. And I'm glad you just kind of had to stop and really evaluate and think about, what are we doing when we spend time with God? Are we really seeing it as this relational connection that we can have with him, or just, again, something on a list that we check off? So this week, a couple things that I want to encourage you with as we continue in our Rooted series. So I encourage you to continue to read those. And two things is, the first thing is, I really encourage you, when you do your Devo in your quiet time, and this be still, to do it somewhere that you normally don't. I know sometimes we can get caught up, the pattern of being in our bedroom, but we have maybe our video games in there, a TV, we can be distracted, but put everything else away and maybe go to a different place in your home that you're normally not spending a lot of time with, just to kind of be able to concentrate. Or go outside. I think going outside if the weather's nice, or even if it's a little rainy, maybe in your garage, open up the garage door and just take some time, just being in nature and viewing God through his nature, and appreciating the beautiful spring weather, and even with the rain that we can have, and just have your Devo time with God in that new space. And then the second thing is, I really encourage you to imagine God writing you a love letter as you read the Devo. I know sometimes we can think of it as just this next thing to read, but I really encourage you to think, man, God wrote this truth to us, so because he loves us, so I'm going to take the time to read it. And it's like getting a letter from someone else, an encouraging letter from someone else that we would really take time to read. So try to do that this next week, a new place, and just imagine God writing a love letter to you through the Devo, and sharing his love and his truth with you. We hope you guys have a great week coming up, a great weekend with Memorial Day, and maybe spending some time with family. Keep doing the Devos, and again, remember to be still, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed Not Your Normal Wednesday Night. Just wanted to let you know that we want everybody to be able to watch this video, because why not? You got nothing else to do. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it, post in the comments, tag friends in the comments. Do what you got to do to get your friends to see this. We'll see you guys next time.